Hey everybody, Michael here once again. Welcome to the YouTube channel for the documentary series about urbanism, the life-size city. And today, I want to show you an excerpt from the Toronto episode. This is from back in season 1. Despite so many brilliant minds doing so much work and research about the importance of urban space, in particular public seating in public space, there are so many cities around the world that are still devoid of it. No benches, nowhere to sit. A lot of places put in barriers so you can't sit down and take a load off. Toronto is one of these cities. It's really surprising. There are so many good things happening there, but there are very few places to sit. Little fun fact, when we were shooting in Toronto, we had permits to shoot on the streets and the sidewalks, the public space of the city. And we were downtown, in this canyon of skyscrapers, and we were filming and doing our thing. And the security guard comes out of one of the tall buildings and he said, "Hey, you can't film here. It's private property." And it was just a huge empty plaza. There was no definition between the sidewalk and the plaza in front of this building. And we said, "Oh, okay." We moved about 75 centimeters onto the sidewalk. And we said, "What about this dude?" And he went, "Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, but that's just the rules." So it was absolutely bizarre to see how this privately owned public space was controlled and dominated by the owners of the building and the companies in these buildings. And as we know all too well, they, more often than not, don't want people hanging around like a bad smell, sitting on a bench, having a sandwich, on their lunch breaks. Enter some amazing activists in Toronto. Their name is basically their hashtag, SitTO. And they decided that enough was enough. And they realized that they had to do something themselves because the city simply wasn't acting. So, as you're going to see in a second, they bought a whole bunch of cheap chairs and they started slapping them out into public space and watching how people started using them. Immediately, almost every single time. They rotate around the city, trying out new spaces where public seating is needed. They document it, they broadcast it on social media. They keep forcing the issue with the city of Toronto. This was a really cool segment for me to take part in. Let's check it out. Let's go to Toronto. Suddenly, it hit me. I had been walking the streets of Toronto for several days, and I had hardly seen any public benches, or anywhere to sit for that matter. Apparently, I wasn't the only one who saw this as a problem.
Really, it started off as a joke on Twitter. We were talking about how there's a lack of public seating in Toronto, and how somewhere like this could use a bench or two or some public seating. And then soon enough, we started taking pictures and hashtagging them, #SitTO. And then before you know it, we were gathering around for drinks, and we thought, what can we do to improve the state of public seating in Toronto?
They came up with a simple idea. Chairs. Simple folding chairs. Put them in the city, and people will sit on them. Because a city, as I like to point out to everyone who will listen, isn't just about getting from A to B.
Already.
They're already doubling up.
Okay, like they're gonna break it.
Already crowded. Let's bring some over.
The picture I sent you.
You guys need more chairs? Just feel free to move them around.
Thank you.
Okay.
It seems our group has come and gone now, and that's the beauty of this as well, is people come, just sit momentarily, and then leave again.
Just take a load off. That's all you need, you know?
Exactly.
How do you choose a location? Do you have like standard locations that you always use, or do you freestyle?
A really big theme of our group is that we have an idea, we see the potential, we just run with it. There's nothing, we're very unstructured. We didn't know each other before this. We just started talking on Twitter. Hey, there's potential for public seating at Nathan Phillips Square, at David Pico Square, here, there, right here. We don't even have a name for this spot. We just see that there's potential for public seating. Let's set up.
We did start off with a map that we all sort of put together privately, just to sort of figure out great places that we can have some of these seats. Some of the places that people sort of would point out on Twitter, we'd say, hey, let's drop it into the map. And we ask people to be able to contribute sort of places they show as good examples of seating, and other places that show, where they could use some more seating. And we think that having sort of this large now data set of information would be good to then bring to the people at City Hall and say, hey, you know what? People are saying they want seating here. They're even showing pictures of it. Maybe you should consider bringing some seating over here.
It seems like people don't even know the potential of public seating at this point. So I guess our purpose is to get the conversation going.